everybody, welcome to another installment of A Stash and Store with Daly, how to organize your craft room drawers. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to throw caution, I will be using my phone. Am I the best videographer? Absolutely not. So I do apologize if the video is not exactly perfect. Y'all, I'm trying my best. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is my craft desk. And before we get into the two sets of drawers that we're really going to look at, I do have a junk drawer for the craft room. I actually am totally against having a junk drawer in my house, but it ended up being a junk drawer, and I can show you that, but it's a hot mess. So I have two drawers. I have one that sits here to the right, and then I also have one here to my left. And I'm going to show you what both of them look like. In this drawer, I always put the first drawer as my go-to drawer, like the things I use often. So my cardstock scraps, my scissors, and then my tools. So my weeding tool, my craft knife. This is like my box opener for when I get packages, my tape measure, a go-to Cricut pen for a black pen, and then I have my gunk eraser, my ruler here, and just a bunch of tools I do put here. Now it is kind of like, I gotta kind of look for some things, but the thing of it is, as you can see, I really don't have a lot of space, and so therefore, I just put them in there, and it's working for me, right? So let's go to the second drawer. Now in this drawer, I have my go-to embellishments. Now over here, I'm going to go ahead and pan. I do have embellishments. I have liquid embellishments, and then I have more sequins and all of that. I'm thinking of doing a little bit more organizational, which I may do that in this video. Stay tuned. So I do have some embellishments here, but these are like my go-to ones that I like to use often. So what I'd like to do is actually organize these bags. So I may do that at the end of the video. We'll see if I have time. And then I have the stick-ons, and then I have these that we did in a video to organize it. So I have like the ones I bought in bulk, and then some new product which I cannot wait to craft with. I have that one, and then I have this really fun detail one. So I put my embellishments in the second drawer. In the next drawer, I have more embellishments, but now I have the embossing powder. So here is my embossing powder. However, I do have foaming. Let me go ahead and zoom up. I have my embossing powder. So I have like all the different colors I don't use often. So again, this is primarily the ones that like the basic colors: silver, gold, black, white, and whatnot. And then I have some more embellishments that did not fit in the second drawer, and these are just some random tools that, to be honest, I really need to go through. I have like my surplus of stuff. So, and then I have these really fun embellishments. I can't wait to play with those. So I actually can kind of put them there. And then I also have this one. So they are in this drawer. These containers came from Michael's, but I don't know if they sell them anymore because I just clearanced them out a little while ago. And then back there I have another one, and then these are actually from scrapbook.com, and they're like little like water brushes that shimmer. It's pretty cool. In this drawer here, I have my surplus of ink, my brayer tool, some things that I use here and there. I have my Cricut tool. So this is kind of like a miscellaneous, like, there's my slipper. There's some tools that I use, that I need to grab for. So these, I can't remember. I bought these a long time ago, where I bought them. So I think I want to say it's either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I mean, that's really where I shop, the only place I shop. And then here is where I keep my glue gun and my stapler, and all that fun stuff. So again, last drawer is like something I don't use often. So I put the priority stuff at the top, and then the less priority goes down towards the bottom. Now, to the right here, this is all for like really my card making stuff. So this little container's from Michael's, or no, yeah, Michael's, and then this one I think is from, I don't know, Hobby Lobby. It's been a while. So these are my card making tools. So that's where those are housed. And then I have some card making stuff. My go-to ink that I use often, and my stamp tool, my embossing powder, my tape runner, my VersaFine Clear, basic ink brushes, and then they have more of that VersaFine back here because I don't really want to store it. Let me pan over here. Let me bring this up and pan over here. So this is where I keep all of my inks. So I didn't want to mix the VersaFine. Plus, I don't think when I 3D modeled those ink stands, I don't think it's going to fit the VersaFine anyways, which is fine. Okay, so, and then there's like a surplus. I had some room back there. So that is all in the first drawer to my right. So really, you just need to get containers that fit. I know that if you go to IKEA, they have containers that are made for the drawer system, but I kind of just use what I had and what fits, right? Also, before I go down to the next one, I do have this little caddy that I got from scrapbook.com, and I put like my little Cricut Joy mats I use for coloring, my go-to glues, my stamp cleaner, my acrylic block, and then here's all the card bases I have pre-scored and folded, and then my card panels and my lotion. And then here I put my heat gun, my rubbing alcohol, and then my transfer tape that I use. Okay, now going back here, I have my foam. So I actually have my baby wipes here to wipe down stamps if I decide to do that. My foam tape, these are my leftover pieces from when I made a bunch of my foam panels that are over there if it would focus. So those are like my leftover pieces. Back here I have some double-sided tape, some Post-its. I need to use this up, and just some miscellaneous pieces that I need to use up. And then I have my table cleaner, and then I also have some more Post-it back there. Okay. The next drawer is where I keep my scraps from the different the different stamping die companies. So we've already seen those in a video. So be sure to see how I organize my scraps. And then I have my Cricut tools. And the reason why it's over here, it really should be on the drawer to my left, but this is probably the best spot. I probably need to switch this up a little bit. And then my foam tape needed to go here. Let me just put that there. Whoops. I try to keep it organized. Okay, here's kind of like another miscellaneous drawer. I have my transfer tape, just some like go-to stuff, my punches, some notebooks. I have a scoreboard in there, and I have some more like my surplus of stuff. So this is kind of like a miscellaneous. And then I'm not going to show you, but the next drawer is just cardstock. An oversupply of cardstock that actually needs a new home, so I could use the next drawer up. Well, I guess I'll just show you. It's just this guy right here. And then I have my little lost and found in there. I have another one of those I haven't used. And then I have a surplus of sequins that went over there. Okay, so to the right, I know we're talking about drawers, but I wanted to show you how I organize these. Again, this is from Michael's, and I put my foam panels here. I actually have whole supply of these. So these are like, once this gets a little empty, I refill it, and then I store everything that I made last year in 2 different areas of my craft room just because of the amount of stuff that I carried. This is actually a cubicle shelf. I think I bought it from Target, and I put the ugly side towards me so that way if someone's looking at my craft room, they're not going to see the unfinished side. So so that's what I did that. My paper trimmer goes there. I do have, my husband 3D printed my little tabletop trash can. I do have my smaller paper trimmer here. And then I have some notes, a notepad in case I need to make notes. Some stuff that I'm working on. So that's there. And then to the right, these are from Amazon, but to the right I have my scoreboard, and then right below that, if my phone will focus, is my Misty. So I just grab those and store them right there. I love it. They're easily accessible, especially with my paper trimmer. So it's such a good place for those to be stored. So you want to make things accessible for yourself when you are organizing. That's what I do. And when I first organize something, is it going to be the right the first time? Absolutely not. Like you may like organize it and then you'll learn, oh, I don't really like crafting with that order. And that's fine. You just got to, reevaluate. So over here, let me pan over here. I have this one here, and I actually need to tackle this, but I don't know if I'm going to show you on camera because I'm not exactly sure how. I don't have a stand for my phone. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I will. Maybe I'll ask my husband, but I can show you some of the organizational stuff. So here I have my ink cubes. Then I also have over here, I have my smaller, oops, let me just move that to the side here. I have all my other ink cubes from Hero Arts or Hero Hues, and then Distress Oxides and inks. And then, which I really don't use often, but this is from Organize More, I believe. I have another one, but then I have, let's see, what is this? Alta New. I have more Alta New. This is from Lawn Fawn, Pink Fresh Studio, my archival inks, and my reinker. So again, these containers, I'm not quite sure where I got them from. And then here, again, this is where the mess, it never got organized. It's just me kind of placing it there, but I have my little blending brush tool caddy there, and some embellishments, my stamping blocks, more stamping blocks. So here, this is a mess. This is probably what I need to organize, I'll be honest. Like, look at that hot mess. I'm definitely gonna have to organize this because this has been driving me nuts. And yes, I do have a back scratcher in here because I don't know about you guys, but I love when my back is scratched. So weird, I know. Okay, this one houses some trays, my light stick tape, my cradles, two of them, my little fan when I get really hot in my craft room, and then I have my crocodile, and then I'm not sure what that is, but and my little, like, you put your metal dies there, an extra tape dispenser, yeah, so just a bunch of stuff, and my finger daubers, which I absolutely love. And then the next one is my C9, so my Concord 9th ink cubes. So I originally, when I first got into stamping a year and a half ago, I didn't want to spend the money on the full-size ink from C9 and Concord 9th, so I went ahead and bought all the small ones, and now, well, I decided to purchase the full-size ones. So I have these. I really should just sell them and get rid of them, but it's hard to part with any of my craft supplies. I have my larger mats on the bottom for my Cricut, and then this is just for my plastic envelopes. And then there's transfer tape, which is actually kind of old. I need to get rid of that. And then down below, the last one is like my heating pad. I have my lint roller, my goodness, I can't think of that word, my little label maker, which I need to fix, but then some towels that I use to stuff in something that if I need cushion when I'm ironing. So I have a full-size one, and then I have, if I'm doing sublimation or have anything hot, I can put it on there. Those are my silicone things I just bought from the Dollar Tree. And yeah, so that is how I organized my drawer system. I think I might do this one on camera with you all. Yeah, definitely, I need to organize this because it's just driving me nuts. So we're just gonna kind of ignore that for right now. And then over here, I have this system, and I've already showed you guys this in another video, which we're not talking about cabinets, we're talking about drawers. So this is where all of my foam brushes are at, my paint brushes. So this is just where I house all that. And then, yes, I do have another back scratcher. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. But here's another kind of a drawer that I may need to organize and kind of go through. I have my stamps. I have some Cricut stuff. This is back here is all for my sewing stuff my mom gave me that I really want to get into sewing. I don't want to sew a whole lot, but there's some small things I want to make. I just wish my mom lived closer so she could really show me how to do it. It'd be a great time to spend with her to do that. But we're always so busy when she comes down and visits. So, but anyways, I know that she loves to sew and she's a beautiful seamstress. So shout out to my mother. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and do some organizational stuff. Okay, so after I organized the sequence, I did end up changing my drawers. So I ended up moving the main embellishments that I use quite often in the first drawer. And then the second drawer has all the embellishments. I have that, and then there's some back there. And this remained the same. I also, coming back up here, I moved my scraper tools here so I can just easily grab one and start crafting. So I did want to show you that I did rearrange it ever so slightly. Well, I hope this was helpful and hopefully this gives you an idea of how to organize your craft drawers. Let me know in the comments area what you would like to see next come to the channel as far as this new series called Stash and Store with Daly. All right, I will see you all in the next Carter Craft video. Bye.